Hi, welcome to the next of our interview series with FightingMind.com, and today we have with us Rosi Sexton. Rosi Sexton is a top UK female fighter and has just signed an Elite XC contract. How's it going, Rosi? How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about the Elite XC contract. What's been happening with it? How did that happen, and what are your thoughts on the company as a whole?
It's quite recently. Basically, I was looking for somebody at fairly short notice to fill a gap that had come up, and we got the call, really. So the event that they were talking about at the time, that's been postponed. But basically, we came out of it with a multiple fight contract. So yeah, quite happy about that. I mean, Elite XC seems to have the highest profile women's division out there at the moment. They've got some, they've got some good talent there, and it's looking to. It's filling up as well. It started out just with a few names, but it looks like they're actually adding some depth. So it could be some quite exciting times coming up.
Okay, and that's the weight division. It's 130 pounds. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and definitely, if you heard any names that are floating around of who's in that division, or
there's a few names floating about. Apparently, I'm not allowed to talk about opponents at the moment, so I'll pass on that.
Okay, no problem. Cool. Basically, let's talk quickly about the state of kind of like a female MMA. There's been a couple of like big kind of controversies and kind of minor scandals that have been. Was that fire truck?
Oh no, that was my line. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all part of the live kind of thing. Okay, first of all, Karina Dam, she recently got kind of done for steroid use. You fought her and armbarred her pretty quickly. How do you think like this and like the Gina Carano never making weight thing affects female MMA?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure whether it affects female MMA as such. I think to be honest, at this stage, anything which draws people attention to female MMA is just going to raise the profile of it. There's controversies going on, and obviously it's not the best publicity in the world that you could hope for. But I think if you look at how what people are saying about female MMA on the forums and things at the moment, and how that's progressed from even a year, 2 years ago, I think there's a lot more people who know something about it and have an opinion on it and have something to say about it, rather than all people go, oh, women shouldn't fight, which was basically, if you went on Sherdog 2 years ago, look at any women's MMA topic and it would be 80% full of people going, oh, women's MMA sucks, women shouldn't fight, whatever. You look at it now, you're looking at maybe 40%. So, that's definite improvement. And I think there's a lot more people who've seen some women's MMA and have been impressed with what they've seen. So I think the tide's turning, definitely. And you've got the controversies and things, and obviously they're going to have an impact. But I think what it does, to some extent, is it makes people think, oh, shit, women fight? Really? And then they might go away and watch them, and when they actually see it, then they can form their own opinion rather than just going along with the herd. And I think that's when things start to change.
It's basically one of the kind of biggest kind of advertisements for like the validity of female MMA was I think pretty much your performance during the Cage Warriors Night of Champions. Now, that was a card that had like guys like Jeff Monson, Antonio Silva. Like, I was on it. And who was your opponent for that fight?
That was Dana van den Hooven.
Dana van den Hooven. Yeah, and that was pretty much the best fight of the night. I know it kind of completely screwed my warm-up.
Thank you very much.
It was a great fight, and it was pretty much, and that was in a fight full of UFC veterans. Like Mike Bisping was there, and that was a great fight for anyone who saw it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Let's move on to we're really under performance enhancement here, and you actually are you studying to be an osteopath? Yeah,
I'm just about to take my third year exams. So.
Oh, that must be fun.
Next weekend.
Okay, and we're taking up your time. What is osteopathy, and has it helped you in any way with regards to training and kind of dealing with injuries and that sort of thing?
I mean, osteopathy is basically hands-on manual therapy. It's similar to physiotherapy in a lot of ways. The emphasis is a bit different. Without going into a lot of detail, it's like I say, it's a difference of focus, really. But it focuses on sort of dealing with injuries and musculoskeletal disorders, basically, and sort of bones, joints, muscles, all that sort of good stuff. So, I mean, my interest in that really came from an interest in sports injuries. I trained as a sports therapist a while back, but I didn't really find that I had enough depth. I sort of still didn't feel confident in treating that kind of injury. And I guess, I mean, obviously my interest in sports injuries came from my experience with sort of martial arts in general, mixed martial arts in particular. And so, I mean, I think the biggest benefit I get from doing my course is getting my injuries treated for free. But I mean, seriously, I think it's a huge bonus to be. I mean, because if I start getting problems somewhere, I generally spot it before it becomes a big issue, and I know I can work out what to do about it. And okay, that's a bit tight. I need to stretch this more, or I need to strengthen that. And I can deal with them while they're still like small niggles, rather than waiting till they develop into a fully fledged injury. And I mean, I think that's a definite plus, because I mean, every fighter gets injuries. I mean, however intelligently you train, I think, I mean, that's a big emphasis. Is you know, training in a way where you get maximum out for the wear and tear you're putting on your body. But even with that, then you're bound to end up with sort of the odd thing here and there, and knowing how to deal with that in a constructive way is a huge bonus. I mean that, and I think also the knowledge of the anatomy and physiology has been a big help. I mean, with the grappling, for example, I mean it's definitely improved my ground game. Just knowing exactly how the different joints work. And I mean, obviously, as a grappler, you've got an intuitive sense of that anyway. So you know, oh, this doesn't bend that way, or that doesn't bend, or how you want to control a joint. But having that sort of detailed knowledge of the anatomy just gives you that extra edge, I think, sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I found it works well with the MMA in lots of ways.
Okay. One of the things that we'll be talking to you guys about is like you getting obviously you're getting your like kind of any problems you have treated for free with your course. But do you think stuff like foam rolling has benefit to guys who maybe can't afford to like have an osteopath or a really good sports therapist on hand? What's your take on that?
Oh, massively. I mean, I use foam rollers all the time. I think they're a huge. I mean, when I discovered foam rollers, it was just a whole paradigm shift, because, I mean, you can get basically a full body massage after every session. You know, 10 minutes, just go through all the major muscle groups. And I found it was having a major effect on sort of the soreness and tightness that I was getting. And if I'm training twice a day, I mean, over the course of a week, obviously that's going to build up. And by the end of the week, I was feeling pretty battered and broken. Once I started foam rolling regularly, that made a huge difference. The other thing that I found that also makes a massive difference is contrast showers, hot cold showers after training, and those two things, I think, between them just really helped sort of the amount and the intensity that I could train sort of day after day without getting broken down. So yeah, I'm a big fan of foam rollers.
Okay, and you mentioned contrast showers. What sort of a methodology are you using with that? How long, when kind of like hot, cold, what sort of things do you recommend?
I mean, my take on contrast showers is basically you want it to be something that's not an unpleasant experience. I mean, there's people this whole thing with ice baths and things like that, I just don't buy it at all.